All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we are live here today for another Women, Wine, Wealth, and Wellness. And I have a very special guest, Mr. Lee, a real investing guru. So I'm going to tell you about, we're going to get to know her a lot better as she walks through wholesaling real estate 101. So a lot of people in our community have been asking for this. A lot of people want to know how they can get invested in real estate without becoming a real estate agent, without having to buy any property. And Delisa is going to break it all down for us. But first, I want to give Delisa introduce herself.
You Rose. Hi, I'm Delisa Robinson, the real estate diva out here in these real estate streets. I have been investing in real estate now for 25 years. I started by buying my duplex and house hacking. Then I acquired properties and became a landlord, did a buy and hold. Then after I did the buy and hold, I started flipping. A younger cousin, as a matter of fact, she told me about wholesaling, and I was like, okay, I'm in. What I got to do? She's like, yeah, you don't have to own it. You don't have to need any money. I'm like, oh, you speaking my language. No money down. I'm all for it. So we started wholesaling, and that was 7 years ago. And then now I've put all my systems in place where I don't make any phone calls. I don't do any skip tracing. I don't do anything. I just sit back and follow up on leads and get wired. That's it. That's all. Like to date, I've helped 163 people start their real estate investment business based on either wholesaling.
So just have to take a pause for a minute.
Yep. Hello?
Delisa, can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello, all. First time here. Rhonda, can you hear me? Okay. Alrighty, guys. Rhonda's having some technical difficulties, so we're going to keep this party going as much as we possibly can. I am, like I was saying, I'm Delisa Robinson. I'm known out here in these real estate streets as the real estate diva. I can be followed on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all over the place. I have been in the business now for 25 years. And what I do is I do a little bit of everything. And tonight was designed for Q&A on wholesaling real estate. So if you guys have any wholesaling questions that you would like me to answer, you could please put them in the chat and I'll be more than happy to answer whatever questions you have. Tomorrow, if you are interested in a free wholesaling training, I am hosting a free training tomorrow. It's open to everybody. And last week, I've done it for the past 2 or 3 Wednesdays now. And every week, last week, we're in there for 3 hours. So be prepared with pen, paper. and a calculator, because we actually go through the steps and we go through the calculations on figuring out numbers and everything else. So it's a real workshop, and the key word in workshop is work. So you have to do the work. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, or on Instagram, it's at therealestate.diva. See how people in there saying, do it all, do it, y'all. It was so worth it. So we are, oh, you guys want the link for training? Hold on, let me get the link out for the training. Let me do this, because I'm all discombobulated because I wasn't supposed to be controlling. I wasn't supposed to be working the controls. So we're gonna get this started. We're gonna get this done. Okay. So if we can go here. Here is the link for the training for tomorrow. If you guys want to click that link, you can join the training. If you have, thank you, whoever wrote that. That is on Instagram. It's at therealestate.diva. On Facebook, it's The Real Estate Diva. On TikTok, it's The Real Estate Diva. On YouTube, it's Delisa Robinson, The Real Estate Diva. And on LinkedIn, Delisa Robinson, The Real Estate Diva. So what people normally, I'm going to go over the things that people normally ask me about wholesaling. First of all, they all want to know, how do you do this with no money out of pocket? And I can honestly tell you, there are going to be people who tell you that you need money. There are going to be people who tell you that you need to put down an EMD, that you need to put down you have to put down, what is it? You have to pay some type of closing costs. I have never in 7 years of wholesaling real estate come out of pocket with any money. And that's because I do it a different way. I build a buyer's list before I even market a property or put a property on a contract. I make sure I have a buyer that wants it. And if my buyer wants it, then I don't have to do anything. I use their EMD and I use their proof of funds. So that is how we get around that. And that's how I've never had to show proof of funds. So that's number one. Number two, the thing that people ask me a lot is, how do I determine my assignment fee? And that's simple. In order to get your assignment fee, you guys have to understand one major thing. And that is, what are your goals? You have to set your goals. What is it that you want to make? How much do you want to make? By what date do you want to make? Hey, Kyra, how you doing, doll? And it's by what date. So when you do that, when you set the goal of what you want and by what date, it's like, I can tell you now, I want $100,000 by July 31st, 2023. So now I have to do what I want, as far as now I have to I've set the goal. So say I want $100,000 by December 31st. Okay. Get your calculators, ladies. And I hope you all guys have your wine, because I have a special glass of wine too with my butterflies on it. See that pretty? So what we do is we set the goal. So the goal is $100,000 by December 31st. Because if you don't have a date, then all you got is a dream. You have to say what you want, how you want it, and by what time do you want it. So I want $100,000 by December 31st by wholesaling real estate, December 2023. So you put that out there, and then you look at it. You go, I have all of July. I have July, August, September, October, November, December, 6 months, 6 full complete months. So you divide that 100,000 by 6. I am mathematically challenged, so I have my best friend, my calculator. So you have $100,000, divide that by 6. So I need $16,000 a month.
Lisa, do you see me?
Yes, I see you. I hear you too.
Can you hear me? Yay! Listen, thank you so much for holding down the fort. Anyone who's watching, you already know when you go live, there's a lot of things that can happen. And we rehearsed, made sure we checked all of our equipment this morning, and we did it again 10 minutes prior. And of course, we go live, and my laptop was like, not today. But you know what? We're going to be great anyway. So, this is Women, Wine, Wealth, and Wellness. And I have special guest, Mr. Lisa, who's already been breaking it down when it comes to the wholesale game. As many of you know, I am always excited to share wholesaling because it's actually how I got involved in real estate. And it was really a tool that I was able to use to not only make tens of thousands of dollars myself without being a real estate agent, without ever buying any property, without having to really spend a whole lot of money out of pocket. And it's helped me to launch other endeavors in my career and in my business. So I love this topic. It's always highly requested. And this time I just really wanted to get an expert to come in and break it down. So I know that Lisa's already been talking and holding down the fort, but I'm actually going to ask her some questions I get all the time. And while I'm doing that, if you have questions, drop them down. But before we get into all of that, y'all let me know where y'all from. Where y'all from? Matter of fact, I do want to shout out Delisa because Delisa's actually from my hometown, Buffalo, New York. So shout out to the east side of Buffalo. We know out there. We know y'all been through a lot lately.
Yeah, that blizzard was no joke.
That blizzard, boy. How'd you do in that blizzard?
I was without power for 2 days. And I cooked my flashlight and heated my house with my stove. Just the top, because the stove, has electric igniter. So with the power out, the only thing that worked was the eyes on the top of the stove. So we heated the whole entire house just by closing everybody. Everybody got in one room. We just closed the doors. Everybody's here. And we did that. And we did it for 2 days.
Man, y'all.
Christmas from the 23rd to the 25th. When it was Christmas Day was on a Sunday, right? My electric came back on at 2:15 on Christmas Day.
Wow.
So, Merry Christmas.
Nobody else tough it out more than a Buffalonian. Listen.
But you know what? And I took it for what it was. I was blessed because a lot of people were a lot worse off than I was. There were people that were found underneath the snow after it melted.
Perspective.
And they had passed away. So I was very thankful for whatever happened. I was cool. I was going to my car, turning my car on and plugging in my phone to get my charge every day. And we were fine. Everybody kept calling and checking on us. You want me to come get you? No, we're good.
How was they gonna come get you?
But some people, you gotta think. My nephew was the one that called. He was like, "You want me to come get you and take you somewhere?" But he works for the city, so he was in a snowplow truck. So he wanted to come get me in his snowplow truck and take me somewhere else. And I was like, "No. By the time you do all that, the lights will be back on. No, I'm good." So once the lights came back on, we just turned off the stove, turned the heat up really high, let the warm air get through the house, and I went on ahead and cooked Christmas dinner and kept it moving.
See, there you go.
I mean, the food was defrosted anyway. Because the power.
It's halfway there.
Yeah.
So shout out to everybody out there. We also got some people out here from Ohio. I see Florida in the house. We got
California, Sacramento.
Hey, Kansas. Shout out to Chicago. I'm in the Chicago area, so shout out to everybody out here.
I see somebody else from Buffalo. Hey.
Yep. So, what you say you was drinking? I know you said you got your glass of wine. I'm always ready. In fact, I'm an over preparer, so I've been drinking before I got on here.
Wow.
Because I care about the audience.
Now we know why we were having technical difficulties. Now we know
it's the wind down. It's the wind down. We work hard and you got to relax. It's about
you do. I am drinking Stella Rosa Peach.
So you're a sweet lady.
I do. I like, well, there is only like one or two dry wines that I like. And they come from the Dublin Winery in North Carolina.
Okay.
Yep. And every year for my birthday, my best friend has me some shipped in because she knows she's the one who got me hooked on it. So she ships. She the couple years ago, she got me like 6 bottles. They came in this like this real pretty case. She gave me 6 bottles. I was like, yes.
Oh man, you was winning.
Yeah.
The winner. Yeah. So I got anyone who watches. I am not a sweet lady. I am a hardcore. Give me all the nasty dark stuff. That's just.
But see, I like red wine, and there are a lot of red wines that I actually like, but they're sweet. I like sweeter wines. I can't do dry all the time. It depends on what I'm eating. If I'm eating something sweet, I'll have a dry wine.
I'm usually dry. This time I got the what I call it is not even the proper name, but I call it the Snoop Dogg Cali Red.
Yes.
I like the bottle up here.
That's 19 crimes, right?
There you go. 19 crimes.
Yeah, I know my wine.
Yep.
I know my wine. That's the one thing I do know.
So shout out to 19 Crimes if y'all ever want to, hire me to promote. Just my website's up here.
Awesome. I love it.
Okay, so now first let's take a step back.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you ever get into real estate? Because I think it's important to to tell a story because it probably resonates with someone else. So tell us how you got started.
Okay. When you're gonna call this, okay, let me preface this by saying I am not a vain person. I have to say it that way for people to understand. I am not a vain person, but I feel a certain way about marriage. We can talk about that later, but right now we're gonna say I feel a certain way about marriage, and I've always had this theory. Me as a single person, now it's different, but before, when I was 28 years old buying my first house, I wasn't married yet. Actually, I was 27. I was 27 when I bought my first house. And I wasn't married yet. And I just felt like only married people should be in single family homes with kids. I didn't have kids. I didn't have a husband. I was coming and going as I wanted to. And I just got tired of paying rent. So I said, okay, I'm going to buy a house. But I didn't want to buy a single family home. So I bought a duplex. And then a house hack, what you guys call house hacking, I just call it being a landlord, getting free rent.
That's what we used to call it, right?
That's what it was.
Fancy terms.
Yeah. So I bought a duplex and I stayed downstairs. I had a tenant upstairs, and her rent was $100 more than my mortgage. So I cash flowed immediately by doing that. And what I did was I took the rent money that I was paying on my apartment and banked it. So that way because I wanted to do some work on the house. So I was banking it. So I house hacked. If anybody wants to know what that is, that's when you buy a house and you rent out rooms or you rent out the other units. So that's how I got into real estate.
Now wait, how old were you? You don't mind me asking when you did that?
Let's see. I'm gonna say February 4th, 1998. I was 26. I hadn't even turned 27 yet. I didn't turn.
A smart 26-year-old.
I bought it when I was. I bought it 4 months before my 27th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember having my 27th birthday party in the backyard. I had a barbecue in the backyard.
And so where did it go from there? Because I know you've been in real estate for a long time. Were you always passionate about real estate? Is that where you thought you were going to go? Or did you just see that cash flow and you were like, let me see if I can do this a few more times?
Actually, I was having a conversation fast forward a couple years because no joke, I bought my house as a single person and then a year later got married. So had no clue it was coming, none of that. So, and then I fast forward a couple years later, now I'm a married woman and I have I don't even have that rental property anymore. I got rid of that rental property and we moved into we moved into a duplex, but we use it as a single family home because he came with kids. So I wanted everybody to have their own space. So I was reading the newspaper. I know y'all don't read the newspaper no more. That's like an ancient, archaic thing. But on the front page of the local section of the newspaper, it was a story about an immigrant couple who came over here from the Middle East. I think they were Turkish, and they were making bank. When I say I read that story and got inspired, they were making $500,000 a year just in rent. And I was like, I'm doing something wrong because I've been here my whole life. And they had only been here maybe 5 or 6 years. So I was mad. It motivated me, but it made me a little mad because I'm like, okay, either I'm not taking advantage of opportunities that are here, or they get opportunities that I'm not entitled to because I was born here and they're immigrants. I didn't know what the story was. I didn't care. I was just really pissed off and motivated. And I wasn't mad at them. I was mad at myself for not knowing this.
We hear that a lot, right?
Right. I was not mad at them at all. God bless you. Good luck. But I read that story, and if I look around this house long enough, I probably still have that article because I cut it out of paper and kept it.
I think, and that's what makes, doing things like this, just getting on live and talking about these things so important, because it's really so important to have the ability to see someone that may come from where you come from, that where their story may resonate with you, and really see that vision of, oh, they did that, they can do it. Okay. Because you don't know what you don't know. I never heard of wholesaling real estate until a close relative, told me about their first wholesaling deal. And I'm like, wait, what? Like your story. And you were like, hey, how can this be? I want to shout out Amber, Miss Amber. Hey, I see you up here in the chat. Let's see. Somebody said y'all too funny. I wasn't even trying to be funny yet, y'all. So listen, that only took 3 cents.
It's a party wherever I go. It's a party wherever I go. You keep going in and out, sweetie.
Shout out to Miss Maya, Tracy. Well, we're gonna work with it. Is it bad?
No, it's when you move in and out, it seems like you go in and out.
Okay, I'm gonna stay still.
Because I have my mic.
All right.
I have my mic set up because my voice doesn't carry well.
I do have an external mic. Not set up. So break down exactly, because I've had people ask, break down before we get into the wholesaling, like the definition. What does that mean? Because there's people out there who may not know.
Okay. Wholesaling is okay, first of all, Delisa, you can answer this question later in the live. Do you JV? Yes, I JV all the time. And I'm going to tell you why later in the live, because that's where you make all your money at, honestly. Wholesaling is a short-term investment strategy where you don't flip the house, you flip the contract. So and I'm going to just use me, you, and my friend Kyra, who I saw on here. If Kyra is selling her house, and she comes to me and say, hey, I got this house, I want to sell it. And I say, Kyra, how much you want for it? She tells me $50,000. Okay. But then I know Rhonda's looking to buy the same type of house that Kyra wants to sell. And I get Kyra to, okay, I'll buy it for $50,000. I put it under contract. Boom, we under contract. Then I go to Rhonda and I say, hey, you mentioned that you were looking for this house in this neighborhood for this dollar amount. I have one for $75,000. She's going to say, okay, that's a great deal, because where in the heck can you get a house for $75,000 at these days? She's going to say it's a great deal. So I'm going to sign a purchase agreement with Kyra, and I'm going to sign an assignment agreement with Rhonda for the $75,000. Miss Kyra's going to get the 50. I'm going to get the 25. Rhonda's going to get a house. There it is. I made 25 grand.
So how much money did you spend in that transaction?
I just made 25,000, and I didn't.
How much did you spend?
How much did I spend to get it? Nothing. Zero.
See, I just wanted to make sure that. And now, Are you, I don't know. Are you a real estate agent?
I am. I'm a broker. I have my own brokerage.
Okay.
And I teach my agents how to
Okay.
wholesale.
She's an expert now, but technically, and laws are changing, right?
Mhm.
But technically, depending on where you live, in a lot of states, you don't even need to be a licensed agent to be involved in a real estate transaction. And that's how I got started. I am
In
not licensed. I'm
in in Illinois, you have to be licensed to do an assignment.
not in. You can't do.
Mhm. You have to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I'm very particular when it comes to real estate, ladies. Okay,
Yep.
I'm going
First
to
is for
tell you.
Indiana.
I want you to listen to me, Lawrence and Linda. Listen to me well. In Illinois, you have to be licensed in order to do an assignment. You don't have to be licensed to do a double close.
Ooh.
So you can still wholesale with a double close. In Illinois, you are only allowed to do one assignment per year without a license. We literally had to look this up this morning because we had yeah, because one of my students was asking, and I was like, oh my God, I can't remember. Let me look it up. So in Illinois, they want you, if you want to wholesale in Illinois, you have to be licensed. However, I'm the queen of the loophole. Okay. And I just gave y'all the loophole. It's called a double close. The difference between an assignment is what we just did in the example with between me, Kyra, and Rhonda. That's an assignment. I can do that one time per year in Illinois. However, if I want to do it again with Rhonda, I have to use, instead of using an assignment contract, I have to use 2 purchase agreements. So I'll have to use a purchase agreement with Kyra, then I'll have to use a purchase agreement with Rhonda. But we close both deals on the same day at the same time, and Rhonda's money is going to handle both parts of the contract. And I'm going to I'm not going to get 25,000 at that point. I want y'all guys to understand this because I'm doing a double close. That means both transactions have closing fees. Both transactions have to close. There's 2 sets of transfer taxes. There's 2 sets of attorney's fees. There's 2 sets of title, insurance, and everything else. So my $25,000 check might end up being $23,000.
And that's still a win.
Yeah, listen, it could have been 5,000. I still
Right. That's still
a
win, right?
I'm not one of those people who I'm not going to bicker with somebody over some money. As long as I get paid and I can walk away, I'm cool. I'm not, and that's where a lot of wholesalers get caught up because they put this astronomical fee that they want on the back end of a deal, and then they get mad when nobody wants to pay them that dollar amount. Well, it's still a win. If I got a house for $25,000 and I sell it to you for $75,000, you're like, no, I'm not paying you $75,000. I'll pay you $40,000. Okay, I still made $15,000. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm trying to close as many deals as quickly as possible and move on with my life. So I'm not that type of person. And I teach my people, don't do that. Okay. Don't be that person.
Don't do it. You heard it here first from the real estate expert.
Don't do it.
Shout out Dia. Shout out Miss Heavenly. Who else we got on here? Oh, hey Michelle. That's my girl. So she was a guest on our show. Hey Cassandra. Hey Miss Rose. Oh, hey,
a question says, how about Wisconsin? Do you have to be licensed for a double close? No. Wisconsin, you don't need a license.
So when we talk about the double closing, we kind of get a little bit into the weed of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, wholesaling, it sounds like, is you're not actually going out and purchasing a property. You're actually going out and getting a contract and getting it signed by the property owner and selling that contract.
Yes, exactly. Exactly what you're doing. And you have to make sure, though, be very clear. And this is something I tell my Airbnb students too. It's the same thing in wholesaling. Make sure your contract allows you to assign that contract to someone else. If it's not stated in your contract and you wholesale it, your seller has a right to back out because you weren't honest in your contract about what you were going to do.
So there you go. So how many? Well, let me ask you this first. So you do a lot of different real estate transactions, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
So you buy and hold. What don't you do? Let me maybe ask what I should.
Yeah, that probably is a better question. What don't I do at the current moment? I don't do commercial. Well, I'm not even gonna lie. Yes, I do. I don't own any commercial real estate, and commercial is anything more than 5 units. Is it one building with 5 or more units in it? I don't own any commercial real estate, but I wholesale commercial real estate, and I list and purchase and contract it for my clients and negotiate commercial all the time. I don't do industrial. That's probably what I can say I don't do. Industrial is like your warehouses, your mining fields and things like that. I don't do that. And I don't like to touch agriculture because I think farms should just stay farms.
But everything
we got to grow some vegetables somewhere. So, I mean, might as well just keep it there.
So do you go out in real estate and do you just say, you know what, this year I want, 5 wholesale deals? Or is it kind of more like you analyze a property and then you decide, if you're going to do a buy and hold, fix and flip? How does that work?
My New Year started on June 5th, which is my birthday. So on my birthday, in the last week of May of every year, what I do is I set all my goals for the year. So from June 5th to June 4th, that's the new year for me. When everybody else, January 1st, that's just a day off for me. I just relax.
You told me that, and I was like, you know what? I have to think about this. You actually told me I think it was like the day before my birthday.
We had that conversation.
We had a conversation, and you told me that every year on your birthday, you look at that as if it's the new year because it's your new year in life.
Yep.
And you know what? I really need to really think about that because I really, really like that idea. Like every year, you need to grow. You need to, transform. So. I just love that. I'm going to put that out there. Y'all didn't catch that? Listen, I know we're talking about real estate, but there is so much of this business in anything that you do that is really just about mindset. And this is just one of those things where it's just like a mindset thing. Like, hey, you know what? It's a new year. I just had my birthday. Listen, I'm about to be brand new. I remember back in the day, they used to be like, don't be brand new. No, be brand new every day. Listen.
And I celebrate every day in the month of June.
Somebody said, repeat that, please. So go ahead and repeat that about your birthday.
Okay. So many years ago, I was having a conversation with my mom. And she started it off. She's the one who gave me this idea where she starts celebrating, because we always say, I want to be married by the time I'm 25. I want to have kids by the time I'm 20. I want to graduate and have my own business by the time I'm XYZ, LMNOP, whatever age. So if the new year, you turn a different age on your birthday. So that's your new year because you got to give yourself at least a year to get it done. So if you're 20 right now and you say, oh, I want to be married by the time I'm 25, that means 5 years from the day of your birthday. So when I do that, I just say, this is my new year. So what I do is I set all my goals on my birthday. I'll say, trust me, I wrote some pretty hefty goals down this year. And because my goal is to be at $5 million in my bank next year. That's where I'm trying to be next year. So I have some and when I say write down goals, and this is what I was explaining to you guys earlier, when I say write down your goals, write down the goal, write down how you're going to get there, and then by what date. Because if you don't put a date on it, it's like a dream and a wish and a prayer.
Yeah, if y'all got to go for this year, we got about 6 months left in a year, and you can do a lot in 6 months. So if you have a goal, speak into existence. Drop it in the chat. Let us know your goal.
What are some of your goals for
real estate?
Here,
just let us know.
And I'm telling you guys this: even if you are just starting out in real estate and you are interested in starting with wholesaling, you can still make six figures between now and the end of the year.
What's your goal? What's your goal, y'all? I'm,
So what is your goal?
I'm talking to everybody in the audience.
Yep.
I want people, listen,
Somebody said 200K by December.
Okay.
I like it.
Yes.
Now, break it down. How are you going to get that 200K by December? Are you wholesaling? Are you selling books? Are you selling t-shirts? How are you going to get that goal? And I'm going to tell you this too. I'm a firm believer in you don't have to quit your day job in order to wholesale real estate.
I wish somebody would have told me that, because I got my first wholesale deal. I got it. Listen, I quit. I'm rich.
That's what a lot of people do. But like
everybody a finger. I ain't even politely. I was like, you know what? I got my first deal. It took me 90 days. I took a course. It was a 90-day challenge. I didn't get my deal in 90 days. Shout out to everybody who takes courses, because I really believe it's important to have a path. So don't listen to anybody who tells you not to take a course, not to take a coach. Don't listen
definitely.
to them. Their results are not your results.
Everybody.
But I took a course. I think it was like 10 days later, I got my first deal, and it was like $22K. And I spent like maybe $500. And I was like, ooh, I can do this all day long. I don't need y'all. You know, I was, I didn't even quit. Like,
I got this.
Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Don't take my advice. Take Delisa's advice. She don't do what I do.
And see, I went, and people, and I told you I brought my first house, on February 4th, 1998. I didn't leave my day job. And mind you, I had 30 doors in real estate. I had 30 different apartment units. I was getting 30 different rent checks every month. I did not leave my day job until August 17th, 2017. No matter how many times my husband was like, we make enough money, you could quit. I was like, I loved my job. I loved what I did. It didn't bother me. And not only that, but I was making over six figures at that job. And I pretty much had the lay of the land. I could come and go when I want. I could do whatever I want. And I still made my money. It wasn't, I put in my 40 hours and I went home and I kept it moving. I went on vacation every month. Like I literally took days off every month and went on a trip with this job. So it wasn't a bad job for me. I loved it. And
now you're just sacking money.
Yeah, I was just clearing money. I was like, ooh, this is the life. I could just do this. And then my boss did something really stupid and we lost we had a government contract. He did something stupid. We lost the contract, which means now I either have to go work in one of his other departments or I can go home. And we ended up getting into an argument because he was frustrated because he did something wrong. I'm frustrated because you're making me try to clean up your mess. So we get into this argument and he accused me of being a liar. That's one thing I don't like. Don't accuse me of being a liar because I'm not a liar. That's a filthy word to say to me because the one thing I hate is a liar and a thief. So I went and I was like, you know what? Beep, 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 beep. And when I tell you every single cuss word you could think of came out my mouth, and I slammed that phone down, packed up my stuff and went home. And then I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. New York state law says if I get fired, I get unemployment.
Right.
So I went back the next day so he could fire me so I could get 6 months worth of unemployment so I could concentrate on real estate and still get a check. So and it worked. I wrote $1 million because I had my real estate license. I wrote $1 million worth of deals in my first month, full time.
Wow.
I kept it moving and I kept it moving.
And that just shows what happens when you have goals, when you create your vision. And I mean, being able to write it down, speak into existence, and really actually see it, see your path there. So when Delisa talks about, well, how are you going to get there? You don't need to know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but you need to know A and Z. You need to know how it's going to start and you need to know how it's going to end. Everything else in between there, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's going to bring it to you as long as you can see it. So we didn't even touch on that.
Yep. Whatever is meant for you is for you. And stop telling people. And the one thing I could tell tell you now, and I learned this lesson the hard way. Stop telling people who don't understand your dreams. Stop telling people who not going to pay attention, those people who say you're not going to be able to do that, all the negative people. First of all, stop talking to negative people. That's first. And then second of all, stop listening when they talk to you. Because they're going to still try to talk to you. Just stop listening. When you first started, how were you marketing? Okay, so how do I market? I'm being honest. Let me tell you what I did. So my first deal I found on the MLS. As much as I tell people don't do the MLS as your first deal, my first wholesale deal came from the MLS. And I made $6,439 on my first deal. And it was because my friend Rob had a property under contract that he really didn't want. And I was like, oh, what you get it for? It was listed for $30,000. He had it under contract for $15,000. So I found a buyer to give us $30,000 for it. And then he and I split the money. And that's how I ended up with that. $6,439 was my first deal. And how I market is, like I said, I really don't. I build a buyer's list first. And I'm telling you now, if you want an easy life in wholesaling, build a buyer's list first. That means find the people with the money before you find the property. My buyer's list, excuse me, y'all, something just went in my eye. My buyer's list, I kid you not, I have 125 people on my buyer's list because I wholesale nationwide. So don't go, oh, that's a lot. That's not a lot when you think there's 50 states and I wholesale nationwide. So if my buyer's list is 125 people and I get a property under contract tomorrow, I'm going to send 125 people an email with the details and the picture link. Well, I create websites for my listings now, and I'll teach y'all how to do that later. But teach it another day, another time. I'll teach you how to do that. But I create a website for mine and I send 125 people that link. And I let 125 people tell me if they want that property. And I'm being honest, sometimes I do it before I even have that property under contract. Because if my buyer's list tells me they don't want it, then I'm not going to contract that property. I'm going to keep it moving. Unless I know it's a really, really good deal. Then I'll put it under contract and just find a new buyer to add to my buyer's list and put it on there. But I market, when I do have to market, I market first, it goes to my buyer's list. And that's the link goes out to the buyer's list. Then I give them 24 hours to get back to me because, you know, real estate investors are all over. They moving and shaking, they busy, they doing stuff. They don't always see your emails. Then what I do is I put it on Facebook Marketplace. I put it on Zillow. I put it on Craigslist. I put it on all my social media pages. I put it in every Facebook real estate investor group that I'm in because I join at least 5 investor groups for each market that I wholesale in. So I guarantee if you go into any one of those real estate groups, I'm probably in it because, like I said, I'm nationwide. So I'm all over it. So and I promote. I put it on my page. I put it on my business page. I put it in my group. I put it on my Instagram. It's on my TikTok. That property is everywhere. And when I tell you there's one particular guy, every time I put a property up, I don't care what city or what state it's in, he's on my buyer's list. He will inbox me on Instagram and say, where is this property? Even though it's right there. Boom. Because it'd be right in his face. He'll text me and say, do you have anything in Buffalo? Yeah. But you don't want to pay what I got in Buffalo. So no, you don't want that. So we have it, you know. So how do you know it's a good deal? Fall in love with the numbers, never fall in love with the property.
So Angela Brown has a question. She says she has a person who works for a real estate company reach out to her, telling her that they want to start a small group of wholesalers. Take them to give the investor 2 contracts a month. So she wants to know your thoughts. What do you think about that? And so an investor comes, or let me see, a person who works for a real estate company comes and says, I'm looking for 2 to 4 wholesalers to bring me 2 contracts a month.
So it's a real estate agent or
She
That's
says
what I need to know, if they're an agent or do they work
it
for
says
the investor's company?
I think maybe I don't know. Let us know.
Yeah, that's before
Angela.
I answer that, I need to know
It
where
might
the person
depend.
works.
Let's see.
And then
Okay.
answer some of the other questions that we had too. When you first started, how are you marketing? I just answered that. Okay.
How do you know a deal is good? That's from one of our Facebook.
The numbers. Any real estate investor worth their salt is going to tell you point blank, never fall in love with a property, only fall in love with the numbers.
Mm.
If your numbers make sense, then it's a good deal. I don't care what you do in real estate. You fall in love with the numbers. Even now, I'm planning on buying a new house. Even that house, I'm using it in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm single again, but I do plan to remarry in the future. So, and I'll probably have to sell my house. So I need to make sure my house is going to be, I'm going to have some equity when because you make your money when you buy real estate. You don't make it when you sell it. You make your money when you buy it. So I have to make sure when I buy it, I have enough equity in it already, if that makes sense, so that I can actually, when I do remarry, because it's in the cards, Jesus said so. And when I do remarry, I'm going to have to get it. I'm going to have to sell my house. So maybe not. I might just rent it out, Airbnb it or something.
But you got options.
Yeah.
So Angela, she did clarify. She said that person is an agent.
They are a real estate agent. Okay. He works. Yes, agent. Okay. So if they're a real estate agent, here's the thing. Why do they need you to bring them properties?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because technically, a real estate agent is supposed to be doing what we call lead generation, just like us wholesalers are doing lead generation. And if they really was to stop being so nasty with us half the time. See, I could talk like this because I'm a broker, so I can say this.
Yeah, because a lot of agents, it's a war with the wholesalers and the agents.
Last time I checked, now I'm a firm believer, you do not have to only wholesale broke down distressed properties. The last 10 properties I wholesale all had tenants in them. So you don't have to wholesale distressed properties. But you do, 9 times out of 10, they're going to need some work because you're trying to get a property. You're trying to get a property owner to give you a property under market value so that you can sell it for market value and make money for it. That's basically what you're trying to do. So I'm trying to understand what, first of all, real estate agents, stop thinking that wholesalers are your enemy. If you work with a wholesaler, you probably add about 10 to 20% to your GCI every year. And that's what they don't understand, because my real estate agent in my office, I let them represent me on all my MLS wholesale deals so they can get that check. There you go. Get that commission. Go ahead, put your numbers up. And now people are like, wait a minute, you sell this many houses? Delise has only got one office. Yeah, because I'm small because I want to be. My real estate brokerage, we cater to investors. That's 99% of our client base is investors. That 1% are the people that know us personally and say, hey, can you help me find a house? We don't advertise it. I don't advertise my brokerage. You don't see signs out. We sell properties left and right, but we keep it low key. We call ourselves the boutique agency for investors. That's what we do. And we don't want a lot of, this is our focus. So I have cash buyers looking for subject to deals. I do that too. I have an understanding of how it works, but what am I not understanding is how do you gain the trust with the homeowner so that they know the mortgage will get paid? How much money should the owner walk away with? Any suggestion for a contract as well? Wow, that's a lot.
I feel like they need to come to your free course.
Yeah. Yes, please. Inbox me. You can inbox me on Facebook at The Real Estate Diva. You sound like you need a one-on-one consultation. That's not something I can answer right now, but I'm gonna break it down for you. Subject to, first of all, for those of you who don't understand, subject to is when you assume someone else's mortgage.
And that's TO, not the
Yes.
number two.
Not the number two.
Okay.
It's subject to, because it means subject to the financing that's already in place. That's why it says, that's why it's called sub two. Subject to. Now, that's step number one, understanding what it is that you're doing. You're going to take over somebody else's mortgage. There's about 3 different contracts that you need when you do something like that. One is a power of attorney. You need a power of attorney signed by the seller saying that you are in control of this property. Because if you don't and something happens and you have to call that mortgage company, because the mortgage is going to stay in the seller's name, the deed is going to go into your name. So I want you guys to understand that. This is why it's a lot for me to try and tell her everything right now. Because a lot of you are going to ask me power of attorney. Because if I break this down and say, oh yeah, you need a POA, you need this, and I start using all this terminology, I'm like, wait a minute, what? So no.
Take the course. And
Yeah, definitely take a course.
for anyone, I just want to put this out here because for anyone who is on this live or watching the replay, we already talked about your mindset. We already talked about, setting goals. We already talked about the vision. And you know what? I'm just going to put it out there because you know what? I've already finished my glass of wine. So I'm in that mood. So I'm in that mood. Listen, what you do is up to you. You can give, Delisa can sit here, and this is for anybody, and give you the entire playbook, right? She can give you the step by step, but your outcome is based on your mindset. Mm-hmm. And Delisa is here, and she is she reached out to me personally and was like, she wants to give the game for free. And I was like, free 99? Like, okay, like for real, girl. So listen, I did this for free as well. And you know what? Again, you would give everybody the playbook. 99.9% of people will never get there because they will never start. So start now. If you are interested in getting into real estate, if you want to be an investor, you don't have a lot of funds, Delisa is your girl. She is doing a free course.
Free 99.
Tomorrow, free 99. Okay.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m.
You'll have your hot girl summer. Okay. And you can start building your future, start building generational wealth, start creating your goals, but it all starts with your mindset. So, Delisa, what is your website? Where do they go to get in your free course?
You know what? I was just about to put that in the chat because I put it in there earlier, but now I see you have to scroll like a million different comments back in order to get it. So hold on one second. Let me get this out.
I'll put a banner on.
It is.
While she is doing that, let me give a shout out. The Women, Wine, Wealth, and Wellness podcast is brought to you by Grow Wildly. Grow Wildly is a digital platform designed to help small businesses grow. So check us out on our website, growwildly.com, or you can reach out to your girl, Rhonda Lewis. That's me. Authentic Rhonda. Wait, no, sorry.
See that Glenn? That's that one.
It's the wine, but you know what? That's okay. That's what I'm here for. Authentic Rhonda Marie. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I love helping small businesses. I love helping people grow. So just hit me up, whatever your questions are. But did you get that link, Delisa?
Yep, I put it in. Yeah. So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be on Zoom. And I'm going to be teaching my entire real estate course, my wholesaling course, not my real estate course. Now my wine is talking.
Okay, I'm like, listen, let me get on that.
My wholesale course. Now the wholesale course tomorrow is free, but let me tell you guys, starting July 5th, from July 5th to September 30th, I have 12-week wholesaling real estate academy. We are starting with no experience to mid experience to pro. Anybody on any level will get something out of this training. We are starting from week 1. It's 12 weeks. There's a different workbook for every week. There's guest appearances coming in every week. We have credit specialists coming in, contractors coming in, We have closing specialists from the title company coming in. We have a closing attorney. We have a tax professional to come in, and we're going to set up your wholesaling business. Then we're going to show you how to we're going to set up, when I say set up, I mean the LLC. We're going to set up your LLC. Then we have Kyra Dodd. She's CEO of Credit Cleanse. She's going to come in and talk to you guys and make sure everything is set up correctly so that you are prepared to get funded. Then then we're going to start doing the wholesaling. When I say do the wholesaling, we're going to learn and implement 12 weeks of wholesaling real estate. We meet twice a week, live training. I'm going to be teaching live. I'm going to be teaching you how to not only wholesale in the traditional sense, I'm also going to teach you how to wholesale a seller finance deal, wholesale a subject to deal, wholesale lease options. You guys will be surprised you can wholesale lease options as well. And we're going to talk about tax deeds and how you can wholesale your tax deeds. And I've even wholesaled an Airbnb apartment before that was arbitrage. So you can wholesale pretty much anything. So yes, so it's 12 weeks. And there's only 50 spots available. The first 25 people get it at a huge discount. Normally it will be $1,497. First 25 people can get in for $497. And the link is out there somewhere, I think. So if it's not on my webpage, it will be.
And right now, I've already dropped the link for your site to take the free wholesale course. So if you're hearing everything and you love it and you just want to get started with wholesaling, you can absolutely do that. Sure. Make sure you get that link, grab it. We also put it in the chat. Again, you free 99. Listen, do with it what you want. Okay.
I'm telling you, when you leave the class tomorrow, you will be able to start.
Y'all might see me there. Listen, I done did a few wholesale deals, but the way Delisa is breaking things down, she's done things that I've never heard of, and that I've never done. So again, I'm not a licensed agent, so I've been involved in transactions, but I've stayed in the wholesale arena where, Delisa just has a wealth of knowledge and information. And
don't be disappointed.
Don't be disappointed. Trust me. I'm trying to be on her preferred contact list so I can get it all for free 99. But I know that's not possible because time is money. Okay.
We got some stuff. Like I said, wholesaling real estate, my thing is everybody wants to come in because they watch HGTV and they think everybody wants to flip a house. And I remember when HGTV used to be nothing but decorating shows. All they did was decorate and interior design. And that's what I loved about it. And then they started flipping. I'm like, okay, this is feeding my creative side. Mm-hmm. Flipping real estate and shout out to all my Gemini twins out there. But we are very, very, even our cusp baby, Rhonda, we'll take her.
The tourists out here.
Yeah, we'll take her on our cusp.
Shout out to the tourists.
Right. So I am creative and analytical, which is crazy. So that if I'm not, I have to be intellectually stimulated 24 hours a day, or it's just not going to work for you.
That's where the cusp is at.
Yeah. So I have to be completely intellectual. And so flipping houses, real estate, all things real estate feeds my creative side because I get to decorate, design, and go crazy wild with whatever I come up with. And then I get to analyze. I get to analyze my numbers, analyze the deal, say yes or no, and thus I want. And that's why real estate works for somebody like me. So if you are creative and analytical, real estate is your baby. Just come on in and feed the baby, burp the baby, change the baby, and get a new baby every 6 weeks. You get a new baby. You get a new house. You get a new house every 6 weeks. You get a new house.
The baby's grown now. You need to kick the baby out.
Now the baby is all grown up and they look pretty. You sell the baby to somebody else. Let it be somebody else's baby.
I like the metaphor though. I'm not even gonna, I love it. I'm here for it. All right. So we only got Mr. Lisa for about 10 more minutes. So y'all got 10 more minutes to drop questions. Let us know what questions you have about wholesaling. So let me ask you one question that I get a lot of times, which is not in here, but during the 6-week course, we talked about how wholesaling, you're selling the contract, not the actual property. Are you going to give people the contracts? Are you going to help them out?
Tomorrow in the class
during the you said 6-7 week course. Will you show them the
12-week course? They get everything.
Everything.
They get their workbooks. They get the contracts. They get the guides. They get the trackers that I use. They get the calculators that I've created for my students. They get everything.
Okay, listen, she's giving away the game for free. I don't know why, but she's giving it to y'all for free. because I'm joking, but seriously, people who do this, and I just want everybody who's here to know this. For people who have reached a certain level, like Delisa, who've been in the game and who have knowledge, when they offer it for free, it really comes from the heart. That because time is money. So when someone says, "Hey, you know what? I get questions, I get asked, I want to put y'all on game because somebody helped me. I'm going to set aside this time." Trust me, she is doing this with the utmost sincerity of wanting everyone to succeed.
I definitely need everybody to win.
There you go. So make sure you register for her course, and not just register, not just show up, but take actions.
Be ready. I'm telling you guys now, if you come to the free course tomorrow, if you come to the workshop tomorrow, I need you to have pen, paper, calculator. I also need you to be in a quiet space, and I need you to be able to be focused. You can't be driving in your car, and then you can't be running around with your kids. You can't be at the park. You need to be dinner where you can actually do this. And before anybody asks, there is a replay, but you have to purchase the replay. So if you want it live, free, show up. That's the best way to do it, is to show up.
There you go.
Let's see. Somebody asked me for the link for the 12-week course.
Let me know if y'all don't see it. I think, the 12-week course.
Yeah, they wanted the 12-week course. And I'm being honest, I didn't put it out yet. Because you know why? Because I don't know why. I'm a slacker.
Where can people follow you?
People can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me at therealestate.diva, because I got hacked last year, so I had to change it. It was just the Real Estate Diva, but then I got hacked, so I had to change it. And you can follow me there, or you can follow me on Facebook at it's The Real Estate Diva. On YouTube, Delisa Robinson, The Real Estate Diva. On LinkedIn, Delisa Robinson, The Real Estate Diva. On TikTok, The Real Estate Diva. It's the same. Can't you tell? The only difference is Instagram, because I got hacked. So let's see. Hold on a second. There we are. Oh, it's not letting me do this. What the heck?
All right, just dropped her Instagram handle for those who want to follow her. You also have your contact on your Instagram. So if you don't have the contact, or if you didn't get the contact, you can also reach out to her on Instagram to inquire about the 12-week course. I mean, we can't make it easier for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's really simple. That work. Okay, there's a link for the 12-week course. Sorry, guys. I had to do it. Sorry. Now, if you're on this live, okay, let me explain to you guys what happens. First of all, let me tell you what you're about to get. If you sign up for this 12-week course and you are in this live,
this one right here,
this one here, not my class tomorrow, this live. If you sign up from this live, which means you have until, let's see, tonight. You got until midnight.
What time zone?
It's 8:40 Eastern. So you have another, probably like another 3 hours and 20 minutes. If you sign up tonight, I will throw in 4 weeks of one-on-one coaching, me and you.
And that's at this last link you dropped.
And that's the last link I dropped. So anybody who purchases before midnight, I will know, because my Stripe gives me the date and the time that you purchase. So I'll know exactly who you are and what you are and where I need to contact you at. Okay, so I'll know that. If you purchase, you will get, not only will you get the 12 weeks, where we're going to meet twice a week for 12 weeks, sometimes 3 times, because you're going to come to the Monday night Q&A that I do every Monday night. For my coaching clients, I do a weekly Q&A for my coaching clients every Monday night. So you get to come to the twice a week for your training. I'm opening the doors to you to come in for the Monday night training, and you still get to meet with me one-on-one for 4 weeks. Your 4 weeks will start immediately. You don't have to wait until July 5th. We're going to start this week. So that's what it is. And I'll know who you are because you'll purchase before midnight.
There you go. And
you have payment plans. There is a payment plan option available if you can't afford $475 right now, because I know how it is. And your checking and savings might be set up different. But I do accept Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm.
There you go. You can't make it easier
for make it more easier for y'all. Now that's just what it is. What it is for the buyers. Or do they just buy? Both. My buyers come to. I have open houses for my wholesale deals, and I put it when I put out the deal. I put out the open house. I put out the picture. I put the city, the state, the zip code, the information about the property, and I put the times that were the date and the time that it's being shown.
Now, what do you do? Because I know what I've done, but what do you do when it's out of state or where it's somewhere you can't get to that property? What do you do?
Boots on the ground. That's my best.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
My boots on the ground is the truth, and they love it. You want to know why they love it? Because listen to how they get paid. When they close the deal, they get 40%.
Oh. Hold on, you looking for any properties over here? Because I can go out there for you now. Well, listen, just call me, girl. I can go out there.
Listen, that's why I said my boots on the ground love me.
Because I pay when they show the property. That's what I've done, but that's even better.
Once it closes, they get 40%.
So I'm gonna just say this. If you want to be a boots on the ground for Delisa, also hit her up. If you want to JV with Delisa, hit her up. If you want to take her course, hit her up. If you just want to inquire, hit her up. Listen, I'm putting you out there. Listen, she's an open book. Reach out to her. Get up in them DMs. Reach out to her however you want to, however you can, because for people like Delisa, people like myself, if you have a small business, we are passion driven. Yep. We do this because we want to help build our communities, because we want representation. We want people to know that when you see it, when you vision it, it can actually become yours. And that's why we do it. So Delisa is an open book, as you can tell, because she's been giving y'all way more than I asked her to. Because she loves what she does, and she absolutely loves helping people reach their goals. And that's what she's here for. So I want to thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you for coming out here for people in our community. Black Women Invest in Real Estate. Our Facebook group, check us out. Facebook, I think it's facebook.com, Black Women Invest in Real Estate. You can just put in Facebook if I have it wrong, but it's I know that's just so ratchet. But Black Women Invest in Real Estate. Join our community. You'll see more of Delisa. You'll learn more about real estate. It's a lot of people who just want to help each other grow and connect and network. So thank you so much. Do you want to leave anybody with anything? Anything we left out?
I don't know who that user is, but Jacksonville, Florida, I just took a picture of your information. We'll be in touch because Jacksonville is a market that I'm thinking about getting into.
Okay, so, you better get it out there.
Anybody looking to get into the class, I just realized too, we have a private chat and a comment section at the top. Mm-hmm. And when I dropped the links, I was under private chat. So
I've been changing them over. So
yeah, I just dropped the link. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault.
Yeah,
I just dropped the link. Yeah, I had my wine too. It's gone. It's gone. But if you guys want, for the free class, I just dropped the link under the general comment section so you guys can see that. Come on in. Join us. Start wholesaling real estate. Don't listen to them people tell y'all wholesale real estate is dead. No, just the way that they do it is dead.
We're talking about generational wealth. So get in.
Get in. My sister told me this morning, run me my money.
There you go. So I'm about to go out here and get on these open houses for Delisa so she can run me my money real quick. On that 40% wholesale deals.
I have a you're not gonna believe this. I have a 1,600 unit apartment building in Chicago that I'm working on.
Okay, all right, we'll connect.
But it's with a broker.
Say it out loud. Just come. Let's just listen, because they're gonna be in your inbox. I got a lot of Chicago people here.
I'm already working. So please, I'm already working with a broker on that. I'm just crossing my fingers and praying to God that it just closes. Because if it closes, this is the difference between.
You need me to show it to anybody?
Oh no, not yet. But I might. The difference between commercial and residential is how you get paid. On the commercial wholesaling side, you get a percentage. Mm-hmm. On the residential side, you get your assignment fee. So on this building is, I think he said he wanted 90. No, I think it was over 100 million, and I get 1%. Mm. Yeah,
I'll show that all day long.
Right.
No. Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you
guys for having me. I appreciate you,
Lisa. If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, you want to learn how to become visible online, help your business grow, reach out to me. I'm your girl. You can check me out on www.growwild.ly. That's .ly, and I will be more than happy to help you. Until next time.
See y'all later. I'll see y'all in the group.
Bye-bye.